I wonder, it's a positive and negative, right? Because you haven't had that full arena experience that everybody's getting, but yet you've had a lot of success here. So are you happy that you're back at the Apex, or do you feel you're missing something?
No, I actually don't miss anything. For me, a fight is a fight. It's nice to have a crowd, and it's nice to have crowd who are cheering for you. But I don't need anyone to push me to a fight. If a fight is a fight, I can fight in Apex, I can fight in a parking, I can fight somewhere else. A fight is a fight, man.
Talk to me about your last 2 years and how you view it, right? Because you haven't had a lot of fights, but yet you're number 3 in the division, so it's been successful for you. So are you happy with the way things have played out, or do you wish you would have more chances to fight?
I would wish that I could fight the last year even one more time. It's a 14 months layoff for me, but I've been really working hard these last 14 months, really. I improve all my skills, and I got 1 year older. That means I'm 1 year smarter. And yeah, can't wait. I'm so excited for the fight. Even believe me or not, I'm enjoying the weight cut because it's like 14 months I didn't fought. So yeah, even that it's funny.
How challenging was the rescheduling for you? Did it make it difficult to kind of set your schedule, that sort of thing?
I mean, no. I'm a type of guy. I'm always in training and always in, let's say, 80% of shape. So I just need a couple of 5-6 weeks to get on 100%. So yeah, I got the name Jan Blachowicz, and I was very happy about the opportunity to fight a former champ. And I start my preparation really early, and then he canceled the fight, but I took some intensity out. We were focusing on the game plan, and then when we had a new date to fight, then we put the intensity up, and yeah, we are ready to go.
When you hear that his injury, he was temporarily paralyzed for a while, and now he's fighting 2 months later, how does that affect you? Do you start thinking, oh, this guy's, there's no way he's going to be 100%. I'm going to get an easier version of this guy.
I don't know. It sounds really a weird injury, but he managed to heal very fast, and I expecting the best version of Jan Blachowicz, because especially after his last performance were not good. He lost the belt, and he's gonna come Saturday night to the octagon, and he's gonna be motivated and focusing. He wants that belt back, but there is one problem. That's me.
I know you want to fight all the biggest names, but is this kind of a special fight? As you said, a former champion, but also, 2 European guys. You probably followed his career maybe a lot closer than some of the other guys around the world.
Yeah, man, this is the biggest fight of my life, and fighting a former champ and the 4th title contender, the 4th former title contender, the 4th. So I beat him on Saturday, the number 1 contender. There is no doubts about that I'm gonna fight for a title next.
This was going to ask you, this looks like it should be a number 1 contender fight. Do you feel this is absolutely a number 1 contender fight?
Absolutely. For me, in my position, it feels like it's a title eliminator fight. For him, I really don't know, but I see it as a title eliminator fight, yeah.
Knowing that, have you let yourself think about Glover and Yuri and how that fight plays out? Do you have a prediction for how that fight plays out?
Yeah, I see this fight as a 50-50 chance, because if Glover can stand the pressure of Yuri, what he puts in the beginning of the fights, if he can't stand the pressure in the first round or the beginning of the second, then probably he's gonna drag Yuri to deep waters, probably submit him or TKO him or going to decision. But if he can't stand the pressure what Yuri puts in his fights in the beginning, this is going to be a quick night for Glover Teixeira.
Is there one guy you'd rather face for the title?
I honestly would love to fight Glover, because he is a bigger name, he is a champion, he is in the business for a while, and I think he has not so much time left in his career like Yuri does. And Yuri is still young, He's, I think, the same age like me, and I think he's going to be in the top for a while, like me. And sooner or later, I'm going to fight him once or twice or even 3 times. We don't know how the card's going to play out.
Seems pretty inevitable you guys will meet at some point.
Yeah.
Well, knowing all that's on the line, obviously you can't think too much about that. You got to think about this. How do you see this fight going? I mean, is this something where you can go in and be dominant? Is this something where you're going to have to drag it out over 5 rounds? I mean, what kind of fight are we going to see?
I mean, my goal is always to be dominant in every fight, and you could see that in the previous fights. And I know Jan going to come prepared, but after the first exchange, he's going to feel that I'm a different animal than the last time. I'm ready for everything. I did my homework. I start really early with my conditioning work for 5 rounds, and I believe that after Saturday night, I'm gonna fight the next fights, only 5 rounds fights. And yeah, I'm ready for 5 rounds of pure domination, or I'm ready to knock him out or submit him in the first round.
Hey, Alexander. You've only been to a decision 4 times in your career, but there's this narrative out there that the fans think that you're a boring fighter. What do you say to that?
I really don't care. If the people say that I'm a boring fighter, they would be sitting here and doing better than me, right? Sometimes the fight, it happens like this, and you cannot rush for a knockout, because if you rush for a knockout, it can go fast that you getting knocked out. So, and you need to stay composed, stay disciplined, and pick your shots, and see your momentum, and then take it. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't care what the people say. I know what I can do, what I'm able to, and I know that I'm gonna be the world champion soon.
So speaking on that, at the end of the day, Saturday night, do you feel like you're going to be able to finish Sean?
Yes, I am. Absolutely. I know how hard I worked the last years, and I've been in the game for a long time, and I know that I can finish anybody on the world. Anybody. Doesn't matter if it's heavyweight or light heavyweight.
I saw that you had a Denver Nuggets jersey. What was your decision to wear that?
Because of my man Nikola Jokic. He's an MVP. I'm a fan of him, and he's from my country, and I want just to support him, and I'm happy for him.
Awesome. And then finally for me, who gave you your nickname Rocket?
I got this for a couple fighters from my area, from the Balkans, because I got the name after the Jimmy Manuel knockout, because they were so explosive, and I know that I'm one of the most explosive guy in the division and the most fastest guy. And with the kicks I throw, yeah, and Rocket and Rakić, it's kind of like similar. That's the reason they called me Rocket, and I pretty like it,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alexander, Jim Grieshaber, MMA Weekly. You're a guy who's taken the fast track your whole career. You come to the UFC in under 10 fights. You're fighting Jimmy in your 4th fight. Then you lose a tough one against Ozdemir, right? What was that like for you? It was a tough fight, could have gone either way, really close at the end, split decision, but to taste that first UFC loss mentality-wise, then you come back and beat 2 former title contenders. What in that time frame changed for you after you lost that first fight, if anything, and how did that help you moving forward?
I mean, I lost my first MMA fight in my every first fight in MMA fight. So, and this was a really loss for me, and I felt like a loser that night, and I felt like the last months always thinking on that loss. But after I lose to Volkan Ozdemir, it didn't feel like a loss, because deep in my heart and deep, I know that I won that fight, and the people around the world also know that I won that fight. So I never felt like a loser in that, And if I see this, if I rewatch the fight again and again, and if I see the states, come on, I didn't lose the fight. But anyways, even the UFC gave me after Volkan Ozdemir Anthony Smith as an opponent. even a better ranked guy than Volkan and a guy who beat Volkan. So, this makes sense, right? And I beat Anthony easy, and then Santos. So I'm happy about my achievements, but I don't want to look back about my wins. They are pretty nice, but in front of me is a dangerous guy, Jan Blachowicz. I'm going to put him away on Saturday, and then I'm going to fight for the title. And I'm going to stay in the top for a while, and I'm going to be the champion for a while.
And last thing for me, did you play soccer as a kid or football as an American football?
No, I played soccer as a kid.
That makes sense. You got kicked off for being too aggressive. I was wondering if that was American football, it'd be kind of...
No, American football in Austria is not so big. Let's be honest, like here in the States. But I played soccer, and I was a guy who plays in the defense. Yeah, I was a little bit too aggressive to the strikers, so they kicked me out. And then I go straight to the kickboxing.
You found the right place.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.